Hello and welcome to the channel. In this video we are going to look at methods. We're going to talk about the different ways we can use methods in our program, a little bit about why and how to make a method and when you would actually want to use a method. So the very first thing that I'm going to do is just set up a quick little thing here. I'll just go system.out print line. It's going to be just a disclaimer or a start of our program, a program starting type of thing. A lot of programs will do that, say welcome to the program, or give you like a startup page with a fancy little picture to tell you that this is copyright and trademarked by these people and it uses this, and if you've played games or anything like that, exactly what I'm talking about. So we'll just say welcome to the program. Alright, and we'll just kind of make it look like that. Don't matter, it's not a big deal. It's nothing that hopefully we can outline methods here so it's easy for you to understand. I notice I've tutored a lot of students in this, and I finally get lost here. This is one of the problems that we have a lot of times when it comes to understanding our programming language. A lot of the other stuff's kind of very basic stuff. You got a variable, where to put it. You got kind of if statements, how to use those. It kind of become very logical on when and why we would use those. So I'm just going to create this. The program is a basic we'll just say utility. Just make it I'll just make a couple of them real quick. You can jump down lines too. If you were to continue here and go down, you'd want to put a new line character in. It'll continuously go. The IDE is kind of smart like that. It knows what you're kind of trying to do. We're not going to do that though. We're just going to create a bunch of them. It's not a big deal. Either way you want to do it, you can do it. So basic utility to learn how to use methods. Okay, something like that, and then usually it gives like a copyright, created by, and a copyright disclaimer. Just something small, stupid for now. It's not a tubers.com. That's not anything to do with me. I have no idea. It might even be already copyright, but it's just a fake thing. I'm hoping it's fake anyways. I don't really think it's something that would be, here's a copyright. It's not actually, but nonetheless, it's just to outline a point. Alright, so here we go. We'll give it a couple new lines. Okay, so one of the rules I want to kind of go over when you're looking into making methods and using methods is a method should be very, I'll take out this print line. It should be based upon a single task, okay? You don't want to go too crazy when you're building methods or like putting too much into a method. You should think of them as a single task with a series of instructions for the, that task to be created, and then you'll work from there. So in this form here, we have a welcome message, right? This is all a part of a welcome message. So we could technically make a method for this, okay? And what we'll do is we'll come down here. We'll come outside of our main method. We're not going to declare inside now. We'll come outside the main, but we'll stay inside of our public class, all right? So we'll come down here and we'll just start this off. And the way you create a method would be public static void. Okay, name your method. We started off with these three. These can change. They will change. We'll talk more about when they change and why. For now, this is a method. So method will be called print underscore welcome. Kind of keep it, knowing what it actually is. MSG welcome method or message. All right, and then you put these normal brackets followed by the curly brackets. All right, and now we have created our own method, and this inside here is now our method block, and all the code that we'd like to put inside of our method will live inside these curly brackets. All right, so what we do is we can now take all this stuff and we can actually just highlight it, drag it down into here. There we go. So now all of our code is now inside of our method. All right, so now the method has been created, and this here, I'll kind of explain this a little bit to you. This method is a public method. The static, we'll talk more about the public static part of this in different videos. For now, let's just use this to declare them until we get further into topics. Now the void is kind of an important one. This is your return type. When it says void, it means that it will not return anything. Again, we'll talk more about returning methods. Okay, so this method, we'll just go up here. This method has no return. Okay, and then the next thing, we name it. So after our return type, we'll name our method, and then we give it these brackets here. Okay, and these brackets will allow you to pass in values or bring values over and use them inside of here. Okay, they're called parameters. Some will say you pass in parameters. It's a way for you to, if you're using stuff up here in our program and you need to do, say mathematics or something, you can send in those numbers that you've gathered up here. You can bring them down and use them in here. Okay, so we'll talk about parameters later. So this one has no return and no parameters. Okay, so if there's nothing inside of the brackets, there's no parameters or no values being passed into it. All right, this simply does a single task and will perform the task. Now, in order for us to use the method, you might hear it being called, to call the method, to use it, to invoke the method. These are all words to basically say, in order for you to use the method, this is how you would do it. All right, so in order to call, invoke, or use a method, we will simply type the method name, right, followed by the normal brackets, and then a semicolon to end the statement. All right, we'll run this up and I'll show you what's going on. You'll see in one line, okay, this all kind of gets done here. Not kind of, it does. All right, so here's your, your message, your welcome message that was printed out. And why this becomes so helpful when it comes down to our programming, and it keeps your programs clean. It keeps the logic clean up here. Your main logic is a lot cleaner than having this all written up here type of thing. So really quickly, if we want to, we can add to this method. It doesn't change anything. We can add down here, and it's easy to change what the method's doing and change how it's running. We know where all this code is living. So when our program comes in, you can see that this is a method too. This isn't a method, it's called the main method. All right, and Java always has to have a main method. Okay, and you can see it's the same thing. Public static, the void is the return type. It has no return type. It is called main, and it actually does take parameters, and this parameter would actually be called a string array, and its name is args, or arguments for short. All right, you don't need to know anything about that. That's just a Java thing. You'll learn and kind of understand better what's going on, but as for now, it's fine. So, and the reason we do this is because now, instead of having to continuously type this, say if we had our, I'll just remove this for 1 second. We had our message up here, maybe sometime down the line, we did a bunch of code in the middle here. you know, just a bunch of different stuff, and then we wanted to print our message again somewhere here, and then we wanted to come down here, and you can see that like we're reusing the same kind of code all the way along, but we're just, you know, rewriting this big bulky chunk of code. So what we can do then is, you know, instead it's just simply call this method or invoke this method or use this method, right? So you could copy that, you know, and again, say we came down here, and it gets a little easier on the eyes. It's not so over cumbersome, right? And that just simply prints out that same welcome message 3 times, and we can, I'll show you this, you know, and it's kind of illogical for you to do this in this form, but I hope you're catching the idea of what, you know, the power of the method, okay? And very simply, you can, you know, we can tweak it, we can add stuff to it, you can build upon this, and again, it's a single task with a series of instructions inside of it in order to perform this single task, all right? And that's kind of what a method is. It's, you know, always go with a single task and think about it as, you know, a single task that needs to be completed. There's an instruction set to doing so, and that will be the task completed, all right? So we can use this up here now, and we'll just go like that. So we get a little welcome message come in. Maybe we'll copy all of this, come down here now. We'll just paste that in, and we'll create a exit message, okay? And we'll say now, thank you for using, thank you for using the program. You know, we can edit this up. We hope you enjoyed the program and our services. All right, change all this. Be sure to check out our other programs or applications, as I would call them. Check out our other programs and services. At our, oh, it's still a continued sentence, so at our website, www.ustubers.com. That's pretty much it. All right, that's it. This program was created by blah blah blah, and we'll keep this in there. And truthfully, if you really wanted to, because it's written twice in this form, these 2 pieces, you know, we can actually use this as another method. Truthfully, it's another piece, right? So we can actually go in here now and say public static void, and we can say print underscore copy, right? All right, we'll just do it this way here. And now we know that this is actually the chunk of little code here that's our copyright message, right? We can Control X that out. We can put that into here. It's our copyright message, right? So we don't need it in there anymore. We'll just put it back here. It might change the dynamics of your program a little bit, because, you know, we have these little line headers, but you can format it in a way that makes sense to you. If you want to add them into the bottom section, you can do that. If you know, it's up to you on how you wish to make this look, but it's not a big deal. We can have these, you know, it prints out, like, let's say it only prints maybe 1 new line here. Then we'll bring this down into here. We'll print out 1 new line here. We'll print 1 new line at the bottom. Only do 1 new line here. And we'll actually take this and print 1 new line at the top as well. All right, so then we can take out our little copyright message, okay? And then, you know, thank you for using the program. So now we go welcome message, and then say we want to see our copyright. Okay, we want to print our copyright, and then at the very end of them, I think we could say print underscore exit message, right? Ooh, there we go. And then we want to use our copyright again. So as you can see, it comes very handy. Instead of now, writing this all over, we can now run it and see what it looks like. It's probably going to look relatively wonky, but that's okay. So you can see we got our welcome to the program. This copyright program is used by. This is our exit message, and we got our little copyright message. All right, so I hope that's kind of a little bit easier. You kind of get what's going on here. You see the usage of a method. We can call this copyright underscore message because that's kind of what it is. We'll just rename that up here, underscore message. Okay, so I hope that outlines a little bit of what's going on with methods. These are methods that have no return type and no parameters. All right, so we'll move on. That'll be it for this video. I do, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments, questions, or ideas for future videos, topics you'd like to see, leave it in the comment section below. If you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be wonderful. And have a good one. We'll catch you in the next video.